Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another This Might Hurt. I hope you are doing well. Happy Sunday. Monday. I don't know why I said Sunday. I guess I've had Sunday on my mind all day, which is like, I don't know, all of an hour. But more than that, we did our Cards and Community event yesterday, and I had really missed connecting with my group every week. And although I know, it's not necessarily conducive to everyone's schedule, because everyone else may have, I don't know, life going on in ways that I didn't, but I'm very grateful that we had the event, and I got a chance to talk to some good friends of mine and make some new friends, and yeah, so it was very, very cool. And then we went to the Salt Cave and had a foot detox with other friends in town, and that was amazing, and yeah, all in all a good day. So maybe that's why I said happy Sunday, because I'm kind of still wishing it was. But anyway, let's get this party started, right? Let's see what the energies are for today. Energies for today are, let's see, that's on its side and that's up. We got the Empress in reverse. And I said that like it was a bad thing. And the Ten of Cups on its side. So I see the Empress in reverse. I've been reading reversals lately as things that you need to be aware of or you are aware of. So regardless of which way that goes for you, if you're already aware of this, then moving towards this Ten of Cups on its side, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the Empress is, if you look at her this way, she's pregnant, but with an idea potentially that you can't tell. And she needs to birth that idea, but she's going to nurture it. And I'm trying to think of another word besides nurture, but she's going to nourish it, so to let it grow, right? And then she's got to give it time, right? So she's pregnant. It takes 9 months for the birthing of this idea, if you will. But we have it in the reverse, so it's kind of an awareness of those things needing to happen, and then the potentially codependence, right? So that would be the true reverse meaning of this card. Sorry, I'm distracted by my dogs barking. I don't know why they're barking. But yeah, the codependence of maybe you feel like you can't move forward with this idea because you need the help. Maybe you feel like you need the validation of this idea for it to come to fruition. I got to tell you what. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and actually a few of them. Apparently, there's a lot of influencers out there who are not very happy with Mel Robbins, and I actually fell off the Mel Robbins train about a year and a half ago, even though, yes, I was one of the let them tattoo people. But once I realized where it came from, I'm a little upset with Mel for not giving credit where credit's due. I had heard a podcast one time where she gave her daughter credit for blurting out this thing with her son Oakley and going to the prom and so forth. And it was a Simon Sinek podcast that I heard that. And that's when I thought, her daughter isn't given any credit in the book. So I pulled away right then and there. And then I'm listening to this podcast, and now supposedly she discovered it herself, and her daughter just did the research. So I don't know. Anyway, I was listening to the podcast this morning. She did an interview with her daughter, which I thought, why are you monetizing the healing with your daughter? But whatever. And she continuously blamed her daughter, like in middle school and high school, for their relationship being what it was. And I don't know, I listened to this interview, and it literally disgusted me, because Mel Robbins was not going to have a relationship with her daughter unless she could monetize it. And the fact that their relationship was strained, she continued to gaslight her daughter into thinking it was her fault. She's a child, right? But this and that's what I feel like this could be, that energy of, I need to make whatever this thing is worthwhile, instead of validating myself, instead of apologizing and leaving it there and so forth. It could be this need for the external validation, or an awareness. And really, even if you have that and you're not aware of it, be aware of it so you can change it, right? To the Ten of Cups on its side. So the Ten of Cups is like, I don't know, pretty much the happiest card in the deck, right? And if you think about it, the family reunions, total love and support. Guys, this family doesn't have to be the DNA. Look at all the different cups and the different styles of the cups. You get to choose, right? You get to choose if it's going to be, if you're going to take this information from here and use it for good, and just make your relationships better. It literally sickened me when I saw that Mel Robbins literally put her daughter on blast in public, on a public forum, instead of trying to heal the relationship in private. But anyway, I need to get off that. The Four of Cups in the upright. So you don't have to take every cup that's offered to you, right? Her daughter didn't have to agree to do the interview, if you look at it that way. And knowing what she knew about her mother, she had to know that was going to go that way, right? She had to know that she was going to get blamed for all the things. I think Mel Robbins should take a little bit of her own advice, but that's just me. Yeah, I'm really kind of stuck on this, but I really haven't respected her in a really long time, and this just kind of sealed her fate with me. But understanding you don't have to take every cup that's offered, right? We have to have deal breakers. We have to have our standards, our whatever you want to call them. And if these people don't meet up to our standards, then they can be in the outer circle, but they're not going to be in the inner circle, right? They're just not. And next part out, my dog is playing with a Hershey's little toy that my friend bought her. But anyway, the Lovers. So I always see that as self-love. And the Nine of Swords, don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink it. Just, you can have self-love without being arrogant and narcissistic. It's possible. I promise you it is. And I think the more you love yourself, the less of those two things you are. Someone like Mel Robbins, who claims to be a life coach and giving all of these worldly advice things to other people about self-love and so forth. Well, for you to blame your daughter for your relationship, you don't really have a lot of self-love there. There's just not. You just can't see yourself the way that you're teaching other people to try to see themselves. And it's kind of, at some point, it's got to bother you. It's got to bother you that you are a hypocrite. You are not practicing what you preach. You are just monetizing information. And if it happens to help people, great. But if not, just pay me. I don't like that about her. And so, if you think about this relationship between her, go check out that podcast, by the way. If you see it, then you can tell, like, when people are authentic and when they're not, right? Her daughter clearly knew what was up. Her daughter has clearly done a lot of work on herself. And her daughter, I have a ton of respect for her kid, but her, not so much. All right. Anyway, so take that story with Mel Robbins, and it's kind of that story, right? With her and her daughter and the mesh of the energies of the relationship. And then think about it, and then go back to the beginning and try to make it different, right? Otherwise, you're going to just repeat cycles. What's the advice for today? Advice for today. Yeah, I'm a little heated about this podcast. I don't know. I just find it, maybe I find it familiar. But anyway, let's see. Advice for today. Advice for today. Okay, all kinds of advice. Transform it, right? Transform it. Let the death of the ego and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Sometimes it's not about being compassionate. Sometimes it's about setting those boundaries and making sure that you are taken care of first. Let go of the old story and create a new story and be unapologetic about it, right? And you're going to be, if you've never had boundaries, then you're going to absolutely come across as a bitch or whatever when you start to have boundaries. But Queen of Swords in the reverse would be a cold, rigid logic. No compassion, right? And we have no compassion here. So there's a level of no compassion that it may even be necessary, right? If Mel Robbins' daughter wasn't so compassionate, she might not have taken the blame for the relationship. I do feel bad for her. Her name is Sawyer. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands. So we haven't seen him in a while, but very creative, very planning, new ideas, new projects and so forth, and starting to plan those things. Not really at the action stage yet, but in the planning stage. I like that. What's going to help us today? Ooh, that was quick. We've got the Hoopa, the Four of Wands, the Hooded Falcon, the Grapes, and the Pierced Heart. All birds. Look at that. All different kinds of birds. So I'm not going to look this up today. We're just going to read it intuitively. But we've got 3 birds here. These 2 looking at each other, and this one looks like a heart. So, if you can look at each other and then judge yourself as harshly, then you can create that self-love, right? It's just absolutely, you're not going to hurt people, and they don't have to protect themselves from you. And then you can suddenly feed your relationship, feed yourself, water yourself. And that's where we get the self-love from. And that's when we get the happy family card, right? The stability and so forth. All right, guys, I don't know what my dogs are barking out, but I'm going to leave it there. You guys take care. We'll chat tomorrow.